Good morning, future fans. You're tuning in to the very first installment of Sundays with Allure. We have our hosts here, Sahil.
What up?
Shailen.
What's goody?
And Hait, a.k.a. Lil Chump.
What's Gucci Gang America?
Oh my god.
On Sundays with Allure, we discuss the hard-hitting topics that saturate the music industry. Using the perspective of a DJ company, we discuss the way music impacts culture and society. This first episode will cover two current topics in hip-hop music. The Weeknd's new album, and this age-old debate, album logic versus mixtape logic. Let's get it popping.
All right, let's talk about this. So, what's
The
your guys'
Weeknd first.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
Weeknd, yeah.
The Weeknd. He just dropped the album on Friday.
Man.
I think it was expected. A lot of people were looking forward to this one. Although it does have only 6 songs, which is kind of sad actually, because I think I wanted more out of this one.
All right, but if you think about it, man, like 6 songs. Here's the thing. I really hate when a rapper or an artist puts on like 20, 30 songs and like 12 of them are throwaways.
So
like,
like Chris Brown.
concise.
So like Chris Brown.
had, like, yes, like 50
Dude,
songs maybe.
I saw Chris Brown's album. I was like, no, I'm not doing this, man. There's no chance.
like 2 songs out
There's
of
no
50.
chance I'm listening to this. But yeah, The Weeknd, I mean, it's kind of cool. You put on 6 songs. They're good songs, and you can listen to 6 songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, concise.
I mean, as long as it's 6 good songs, it's not like make 30 and maybe 5 of them will hit. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
stupid because that sucks for the fans too.
That's also because of streaming now. You get more money if you just
Yeah.
load
But I hate having to
songs.
go through and like skip through songs that I don't like.
Yeah, I know,
It's
exactly.
just annoying. I'd rather if he can come out with one thing with 6 songs and they're all good. Then
With
I'd
this
rather
album, I
listen
think
to
I was
that.
able to listen to it front and back like multiple times without getting tired of it.
And
Like,
honestly-
without skipping like certain parts of it or like just jumping ahead, going to the next song.
It's honestly a good intro for Hate too, because I'm sure he's not used to like going album from the beginning to end, right? Like you probably listen to music in the middle, but
Yeah, honestly, I just pick up whatever's on the radio and whatever sounds good.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
I listened to this one from the beginning to the end, and honestly, what I feel like, it's one of those songs, those albums that you can listen to late at night in your car while it's raining and cry out the window. It's one of those songs. It's bringing the Weeknd
While
back
you're
to
next up, while
form.
you're
if
at
you
it.
don't have a girlfriend,
It's bringing him back to the trilogy. This is what
it is.
the Weeknd was.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is
true.
It's kind of sad that it's because Selena Gomez did it to him, and
Oh my
partly even
God.
Bella
Wow.
did.
Nah, yo,
I
low
didn't
key,
think you want to bring that into this, but
Low key shouts out to Selena Gomez because we wanted this album for a long time.
Yeah,
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
I'm
So,
very
we
thankful
wanna
that
thank
he
you for
didn't go
that.
the Drake route and just make horrible music for like 3 albums.
That's fine.
It worked out well for us. But you know,
Drake.
exactly, it's nice that we're seeing these big artists put some heavy hitting songs back out, because otherwise, you know, we're just getting like 60 different little penis pump songs coming out.
Yeah,
I don't
basically.
really like it.
All right,
a little pump for the guys who didn't catch that one.
First heard it here, coined the term penis pump songs.
Dude, this guy
That's not
calls
his
us-
name.
that is absolutely
Little
not his
pump,
name.
Little pump.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah,
throw a
close
little in
enough
front
at
of
this
it.
point.
All right, you guys want to get to some highlights here?
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
All right, so let's go around. What's everyone's favorite song? Mine is definitely the first one. Call Out My Name.
I think Wasted Times was honestly the best one.
Wasted. All right, Call Out My Name's pretty good. I like it, but I need a certain setting. Wasted Times I can definitely get on with. Like I was listening to it in my car when I first heard the album,
same here.
and there was just that different beat. I was expecting like that little dramatic instrumental that Weeknd always has on all of his music, but this was like a nice little downbeat, and I was like, okay, I can get with this.
The thing about Wasted Times is that like, if you pictured listening to it without the lyrics, you can kind of listen to the beat by itself, and it's almost like a deep
That
house
was
kind of
beautiful,
song.
yeah.
All right,
Like,
you know what I
some
compare
parts
Wasted
seem like
Times to?
that.
Wasted Times is like, Too Good on Views from Drake. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah,
where
yeah.
all of a sudden he drops like a beat that he just does, he never
Yeah,
vibes with.
it also kind of it mixes it up because you have Call Out My Name, which is like classic Weeknd, like call out, like just making you cry, and then you go to Try Me, which I mean it's kind of like Call Out My Name. It's kind of crazy because it's the perfect transition song from Call Out My Name to Wasted Times because
Yeah.
it's not like Call Out My Name like completely, but it's also not like Wasted Times. It's like I think it's a perfect placement for that.
Is he really trying to tell a story though? Like,
I really think because I
Yeah, I
mean
was trying to read into the titles, but
it's not even a story. It's just the way that the sound is like laid out. Like, because Call Out My Name is such a classic Weeknd song, and then Try Me kind of edges towards where Wasted Times is going, and then Wasted Times
Yeah.
is like.
But
it's
I'll be
completely different.
honest. Like the first 3 albums, really like I was just like, oh my god, this album's awesome. The last 3 were good too, but I mean, my interest really peaked for the first 3. I don't like the last 3.
Oh, with the Weeknd? Oh, yeah. I mean, you mean with the songs? Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, that happened to me too. I mean, here's the thing that.
It's also hard to listen to 10 Weeknd songs in a row.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got to give you that. I don't know how I feel.
I feel like, and one of the things that I wish I did now was like listen to this project literally in 2 parts. Like start with the first 3 songs and then take a break and then go for the next 3 songs.
I don't know if I'd like it without wasted time. Like,
I know, but like in the interest of seeing if the second half holds up to the first half.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Instead of just like exhaustion from just listening to The Weeknd for too long, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah, no, I do. If I'm just looking at it from the way I did, I think the first 3 are dead. And if I'm ranking them, I'm going Call Out My Name. No, sorry, I'm going Wasted Times, Call Out My Name, and then Try Me. That's
yeah,
okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I mean, that's up to you guys, but I feel like Call Out My Name really resonates with me. It's a song about a guy who helped a girl through really hard times, but then she left him anyway.
Aw, hey.
That's cute. That's
What
cute.
happened to you?
Wow.
It gets sad, but the song only leads into the rest of the album, because the rest of the album he goes into this whole vicious cycle of becoming a self-deprecating person because of what he went through and how he's trying to get out of that hole.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense of storytelling, yeah, I get that.
But that's why it
I
resonates
think
with
everyone
everyone.
knows how The Weeknd tells his stories, especially when it comes to women.
Honestly,
It's like the same.
I wasn't one for asking for Weeknd to go back to the trilogy and start making those sad, melancholy songs again. But like, you know, this is a welcome change to all the music we have coming out today.
Ironically, that was one of that was his
He's
album
such a
name.
different artist when he's doing his own thing and when he's featuring. He's such
Oh,
a
yeah.
different
Oh, yeah,
person. Like
yeah.
the music
When
he
he's
makes.
featuring, he's more of like a pop. Like,
Yeah, like it's so different.
he just wants to make a statement.
That's
on it
because
when
his
he's
voice
featuring.
lends itself to so many genres well. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he can do what he wants, but then if you ask him to hop on some like upbeat party banger, he could just
It always
go on
works.
that Weekend
Yeah.
sound. Yeah.
But he's
Sure.
definitely very talented.
I heard somebody
Good singer.
compare his the song he has with Kendrick off of the Black Panther album. I heard someone
Pray For Me?
Yeah, Pray For
Oh,
Me.
pray for yeah.
Someone compared that to Eye of the Tiger for the Rocky.
Really?
Like that's what
No,
they
no,
thought
no,
that
no,
was.
no, no.
What?
I don't-
Yeah, I don't see that either.
I
But,
don't
like,
see it.
But like I see where they're coming from in the sense that like it's just a song that gets you hype for like a moment. You know what I'm saying? Which what Eye of the
Yeah,
Tiger
yeah.
was. And so like, but I think the reason why the Weeknd added so much to that was just because of the way that he like plays off of his art, the people that he's on the song with. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Yeah.
think he did that excellently on that track. But yeah, no, as far as this goes, this is definitely not Weeknd from anything else. This is Weeknd the way he wants to make music. I think.
Exactly. I mean, given the
Nobody
fact
else.
that his last album was 2 years ago, I think this was something that's definitely like bringing back the old Weeknd that people started listening to him from the beginning.
Do you guys know who the hell Gesif?
I was
No,
gonna ask
who
about
is
that.
that, dude?
I was gonna ask you
Gesaffelstein
guys
is-
like, who is this
Right,
guy?
No idea. And if
Yeah,
we're done talking, we'll look it
Gesaffelstein.
up.
Yeah, Gesaffelstein, right? On I Was There.
Of course, the guy
Yeah,
that knows how to speak German
Gesaffelstein.
just knows how to say that.
Exactly.
That's why we got hate.
And Frank Dukes. Anybody know who Frank Dukes
Nah,
is?
no
I've
clue.
never heard of either
Nope.
of these producers.
So he's a producer.
Yeah, Frank Dukes and Gesaffelstein are both producers.
Can you say it with an
And there's
accent
also Guy Manuel de Homem Cristo, co-produced by Circuit. That's for Hurt You.
When you first listen to I Was Never there, I feel like it really catches your attention in the first 5 minutes, the way the beat drops. I don't know if you guys realize
5
that.
minutes?
5 seconds, sorry. Like, it literally just like, it's something completely
But that's
out of
like
the world.
with, that's like with the whole album. Every song is like that. Like they all catch your attention, but I mean, I don't know. It's a totally
Yeah,
different.
The
Producers is
Weeknd's
great.
the Weeknd's beat drops are the grandest thing ever. Every time. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
hearing an orchestra.
His vocals literally match it, that's why.
Yeah, they're always super dramatic.
It's just
Yeah.
like, come on. Like the first time I was like, yo, it just like washes over you. It's
He
great.
needs kind of like that grand entrance, so it helps offset his kind of more soft voice.
Yeah. He's always cinematic, dude.
He has to have
Yeah.
that hard-hitting beat to give the contrast to his beautiful voice.
Yeah, honestly, if he did like a really light tone song, it would sound really like he would sound like a sissy.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's what would
exactly.
happen. He would sound like I don't know. It would be
Like
so
you can't
bad.
imagine 50 Cent singing on a love
Oh
song.
my god!
It doesn't work that well.
Imagine 50 Cent on like
Maybe,
a
like,
slow
gangster
R&B
just
song.
out of
Like oh my god.
That's interesting.
No, yeah, this was I think this,
I think this
it
was
was a
great,
good project.
man. I love this.
I enjoyed it.
Definitely
I-
gonna keep on repeat for a couple of weeks for sure.
Absolutely.
Only 20 minutes long, 6 songs. It's not really, you're not really wasting.
You never know though,
time
because
with it.
you know how like the Black Panther album caught like a lot of traction and then it kind of fell off. So I hope this isn't like that either.
That's also because it's a
That's-
movie
yeah,
album.
it's a
Once the
movie
movie
album.
But
is outside of the headlines, the soundtrack kind of dies with it.
Like-
That's just one of the downfalls of releasing music on a soundtrack.
Both the soundtrack and the movie had so much traction. So I thought they would both, keep
I
it
mean,
going.
sidetrack. I,
I
think
feel like
Kendrick
I
did
really
great
like the
with
whole
it.
album. So I
It
don't
was
know.
great, but I also feel like the songs that they made that they made to be like the radio hits or like at least the songs that like blew up did not hit. Like the Travis and Kendrick song did not hit.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell it's more cinematic.
Pray
than
for
it is-
Me
Oh, yeah.
hit, but not really
You
because
can tell some songs are for certain scenes in the movie,
yeah, exactly.
like just to make it more
Except
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that Big Shot song. I don't know
cinematic
where, where was that supposed to go?
enjoyable.
Yeah.
Honestly, in the movie itself, watching it in the Dolby Cinema, hearing those songs on the big screen
Oh, yeah, it's
with the bass
probably
shakers
awesome.
under your seats, it's a fantastic experience, and it's just you never get to hear music like that in your daily life.
All right, folks. So this is the Black Panther and the Weeknd new album review. I just
Yeah,
wanted to let you guys know.
no, I mean,
The Weekend's on it,
We're just
right?
flowing ideas right
that's
now, right?
fine.
No,
But
that's
like,
fair.
no, I mean, Black Panther
I
was
still
super.
didn't even see Black Panther, as sad as it sounds.
I haven't seen Black Panther either, and that's why I'm so attached to the
Like,
soundtrack.
I got so hyped from
That's
the
why
soundtrack, I
I'm.
didn't
That's
even
why
watch
I'm so sad that the
That changes
soundtrack didn't
things.
catch traction because I'm like, I haven't seen the movie unfortunately yet, and I'm sitting here listening to the album like, wait, why aren't other people listening to this?
I think the popularity, the sheer like cultural impact of that movie probably made the album kind of go.
That's
into
also
the,
debatable because some people think there's no cultural impact. It's just like
Some people think, but I really think that the majority of people.
Yeah, I would agree that too. It's definitely a cultural
Listen, we
impact.
could have a different podcast on that debate if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
Because I'm down.
But
But
it's a podcast for another time.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But no, I think just because of how much, like, regardless of whether you think there was cultural impact, I think that it had a huge, like, it made people stop and just listen and watch this movie. A lot of people were talking about it. So because of that, I think it kind of made the album's hype kind of die down because they released it, I think, a week prior to the movie, I believe it was.
Yeah, they drop like
Yeah,
one or two
yeah, right
songs
before.
every couple weeks.
Yeah, so
until
then
they drop the whole
people
one.
enjoyed it. It was really hype, and then movie dropped.
I'm
So now it's
honestly
a
not a
movie.
fan of that style. I'd rather just hear one huge soundtrack at once. At least that's my
I
style.
mean, you gotta create some sort of hype for the music.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
this
for the
is
movie.
marketing for the movie.
Yeah.
Also, they had huge artists like The Weeknd, Kendrick, etc., etc. So I mean,
Well, Kendrick produced a whole.
yeah,
damn
Kendrick
thing,
produced the
so-
album, so like having him, introduce it.
Low key though, like think about how much. I mean, just on the album itself, they definitely lost money on that because you had to pay a whole bunch of huge artists.
Seriously?
No,
And I
no.
don't think
they made the most money out of any
Yeah.
movie
They
ever.
broke
I'm
records.
talking about just the
Yeah,
soundtrack
but the
of the
soundtrack
album.
is built
it
on
tied
the
into the
movie.
movie
Oh,
budget,
well,
yeah.
then,
I guess
Oh, well, of
it's all
course
there.
they didn't lose money on
Yeah,
the
of
movie.
course they didn't lose money.
Yeah.
That movie was huge,
The
yeah.
movie was enormous.
Because they had to pay so many huge artists for that soundtrack, and I really don't think it went as like monumentally big as I thought it would.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd be surprised. I feel like a lot of the artists would willingly do a project like that.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
The album flows though, like even the Weeknd's album and Black Panther, they're both super flowy. Like
Fantastic,
you can
man.
listen, you can start from the first song, and let's say you're just sitting there, you won't even realize, and you're like 5 songs in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those like you don't realize
They're mixed just super well too, just so well. Oh my god.
yeah.
But that's also why I think we should be returning to this short format of doing 5-6 songs, 20-25 minutes, but every single song has weight on it. There's no filler songs. There's no songs that the artist just put in there for fun.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
that doesn't make you money.
Not
anymore.
necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't
Yeah,
always
people
put
don't wanna
fillers.
pay
Some
for
people
that.
like the artists will put out songs they know like they can feel it when it's gonna be good. But then they also have songs that are like experimental. But now I feel like this concept of filler songs is pretty recent actually. Where people are
Throwaways,
just
yeah.
trying to put in songs just so they have a lot of content. 'Cause
Dude,
before people would make like 10 songs and be like, okay, half of them we know are gonna be good and half of them are like we're trying something new.
Yeah.
And they'll adjust it every time.
Like I know a Boogie with the Hoodie, he's been releasing for the past like month and a half, just like because I think it's like leading up to his birthday or whatever. He was releasing like a bunch of songs, and it was supposed to be like super hype. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna release all these tracks every week, and they're all throwaways, every single one. Not a single one is good. And I'm like, what is the point of this?
like a
then?
waste
Why are
of
you even
time
giving
for
us the
him
song?
and for us, man,
Just
if you
keep the
think about
songs.
Yeah, there's not a reason to release them if they're not good.
I mean,
Yeah.
like the filler songs thing, I think like 5 years ago, we were in that weird time in the music industry where nobody wanted to trust digital music, but
Yeah.
CD sales were also dying. So people wanted to make their money's worth when you're buying a CD. Like if I'm buying a CD for $15, $20, I better be getting 10 songs on it. I know only 6 are going to be good, but I'm paying what, $10
now you have
for
services
82
like
minutes?
Spotify, Apple Music, where you do like a yearly or monthly subscription, and you
can
can
select which songs
people
you
don't care how
Exactly.
many trash songs there are.
The artists don't have to worry about someone not liking the entire album because there's only 6 songs, because we all have Apple Music, we all have Spotify.
So
You're going to listen to it
So are you saying the
regardless.
value of the single has gone down, like of the single song? Like
Apple Music doesn't even release singles.
no. I'm saying so the value per song has gone down then because people don't care as much if every song is good. Because like you said, people would pay $10 for an album and they would want at least half of the album to be good. Now people don't really care because you pay $10 for like
You
I
can
don't know.
listen to any song. You can cherry pick all of Logic's or Weeknd's or Kendrick's greatest songs, put them in a playlist, and nobody will ever think twice of it.
Yeah.
You never have to listen to the bad music again.
Well, that's not. I mean, but what about new? Like, you want new music though?
Yeah, new music included.
Oh, okay. So you're just saying like when the new music comes out, you get the best songs. And just
Yeah, I mean,
go with
like-
it. Yeah, but that's still the thing is like if you're a casual listener of music, that makes sense. But if you're somebody who like
Follows the artist.
likes to listen to entire albums and like really get the story and what the artist is trying to do,
Yeah.
then you like I'm not trying to listen to.
Yeah,
15,
that's fair.
20
But
tracks,
even
like-
me, when I first opened the album on Apple Music, the first one I listened to is the one that has a star next to it. Because that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one that-
always.
No, it's
always.
it's always. I
Yeah,
do this
exactly.
myself. Yeah.
Oh, Spotify doesn't have that feature, so
No, I mean that's awesome. I mean, it shows you which songs are popular, and then you just automatically go to that one. And,
But for a
9 out of 10
casual
times, it's
listener-
usually the one
yeah,
that's
for a
usually
casual
good.
listener.
For a
that's what's
casual
better.
listener,
Because
yeah.
I'd never
for
do that
casual.
even. If it's a new album coming out, I'm going top to bottom. Like,
But I just got into listening to albums front to back
Front to
and
back, yeah.
totally appreciate the artist so much differently.
Dude,
It's so different.
I went like I do this thing, and I mean there was a stretch. I don't have time to do it anymore, but like there was a stretch where I would listen to like a new album per day, and I would just pick out an artist, and I would just go into their discography and listen to something, and it's awesome, man. Like to really capture what they're trying to do, and like you don't really make that connection until you try it. Like that, there's so much more to an album when you actually listen to it versus when you try to just cherry pick songs. Like
yeah.
Yeah, the
impressive.
transformation over the decades is something that's very important. You can see how, maybe when they're 20, they're making different type of music when they're 40.
yeah, absolutely.
It's something that really grows because you can see how their attitude changes once, they start having kids, once they start experiencing their life.
or like Eminem, and they just start to suck.
Yeah, but
Yo, don't say that. Don't say
I will
that.
those
say
are
that.
fighting words, all right?
Those are fighting
Those
words.
are fighting words.
There's another podcast for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a future
There's
podcast.
another podcast for you.
Yeah, I can talk about that too.
You know what I don't like though sometimes is like you hear these artists come out with like these bangers, but then they end up on the album and it's like a waste of space.
I mean, okay, look, I don't want to say this the wrong
Like,
way.
I'm just like,
but
why?
every artist
Why?
is like trying to like convey a message nowadays, which is like, okay, you know what? There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
mean, it's
we're gonna talk
society we
about
live
that
in
soon
now.
too.
Oh, I'm
It's
excited
the
to
type
talk
of
about
world we
that.
live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that then when we get to Logic too. But like a lot of artists are trying to make a message nowadays, and while that's like they're getting a lot of traction when they release it, and then 2 weeks later people are like, "Oh, you suck," because I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah,
Same thing happened with
absolutely.
Eminem, and we're
It's
gonna
nice
talk about
that you
this
use
with
your
Logic.
platform for something productive, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, it's a social movement at that
But
point,
I don't
right?
like them jamming it down my throat either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they like Eminem. I mean, look, I love Eminem, but it did feel a little forced the way he approached that. But you know,
White boy.
I think we're just so,
We don't like the sight of you.
I think we're just so used to like the old
trash,
Eminem. That's
man.
what it was.
It was so bad.
I mean, Lil Wayne came out with Dedication 6, and that was a banger all the way through.
yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, for sure.
I think
Because Weezy,
Lil
Lil
Wayne
F,
is
baby.
proof. Lil Wayne is proof that a person can be on lean 24/7 and still have more
Still
bars
have
than
the same
anybody
swagger.
than anybody in the room. I feel like he
that's
just wakes up
hilarious.
and just spits a bar.
Yeah, right. All right, you guys want to wrap up first half? So we're gonna have a break soon, and we're gonna talk about Logic, mixtape versus album Logic during our
Stay
second
tuned
half.
for that because the guns are coming out.
Yep.
AKA me versus everyone.
Yeah, basically.
Me versus everybody. All right.
All right.
And we are back. Sundays with Allure.
So we're gonna talk about mixtape versus mixtape versus album Logic now. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Mixtape logic is way better. I think that's understood. I don't know if anybody disagrees with that because if they do, we can hash this out now and then move on from it.
I think
No,
we have
no.
one member who's gonna disagree.
No.
about this.
Wait, you know what? Actually, I've a interesting opinion because
good, okay.
so if you listen to some of his like not documentaries, some of his recent interviews, he's talking about how like so many people are complaining that like like album Logic sucks. I don't want to listen to Suicide. Blah blah blah. Like a lot of people have been bagging on him like how are you gonna make like a nice mixtape, but like right before that you have like this big serious album. So and he's just like I'm trying to show like that if I want to talk about something I can talk about something, but if I want to flex I can flex too. But
Here's-
like yeah, go ahead.
My qualm with him was never that like he was trying to speak on like politics or like really good topics. Like that's all great. He's not the only rapper to do it, obviously, right? I think that his execution of it is extremely surface level. I think every time he tackles a topic, it's like a fourth grader talking about it. Like, oh, you should do things, peace, love, positivity, like everybody's equal, you can do whatever you want. But like for example, when Kendrick talks about political things, like he's weaving it within different topics and different experiences from his life, and it's actually deep. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that you have to listen to and like pull things out of it. Whereas Logic, like who can relate? Woo! Like it seems so cheesy to me. Like I don't know if you agree with me, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
I mean, now that
Exactly.
you mention it, I can see where you're
it's
coming
very
from.
surface level.
Yeah.
Everything is like a middle schooler's opinions on things.
but I think that's what he's trying to go for, that he can make music that absolutely anyone can listen to. I think that's what he's going for, but I mean
I can see
being
how
the-
like a younger generation of fans would be all about him. Like you're trying to discover yourself and like formulate your view of the world. And like,
I mean honestly 99% of his like the people that listen to him is millennials. So like he's capturing his like native audience. So I mean I commend him for doing that. But
Yeah, but the thing is that you can't just give him a free pass for all his corny bars just because he's a positive figure. If you don't fuck with his music, then you aren't obligated to do so just because he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
I'll
That's
give you an
true.
example, like "Take It Back" on that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
The first 2 minutes are great on everybody. They're fantastic. Logic goes into his flow. He starts switching it up, and then he talks for 5 minutes out of the rest of the 7-minute song. Talks for 5 minutes. That's so annoying. It disrupts the entire flow of the album because you have to listen to him talk for that long, and he's not saying anything that he hasn't. Like, if you're somebody who has been following Logic from the point that he stopped dropping mixtapes, you know his opinions on everything because he kind of he dropped them in the form of like little droplets, like J. Cole does. He tells you about his opinions, but he doesn't bombard you with them.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
But then you go into everybody, and it's almost like he's just telling you everything he's been telling you for years. But he's trying to just like make it really grand and make it really public, and like that's what I see. But I also think that there's a possibility that maybe like we were just a little too late on it. You know what I mean? Like maybe if I was raised in like if I was like 12th. If I was in middle school right now, I might actually really enjoy his music. But
I think what it
people
is-
in middle school are probably not even listening to
Exactly.
it, which
you
you probably
think
thinks
so?
they are.
I think they are.
I don't think they are.
You think middle school?
Because you know what it is that he's coming with this whole racial thing because, well, one, given that his parents, he has a white mom, black dad, so that's why he's so into it. But the younger kids aren't really like about that. I think they're just more about the mixtape logic where he's just trying to turn up. He's not really
Honestly,
There's
talking
no
about
way
certain
that
things.
12-year-olds are listening to mixtape
I don't
Logic.
think so.
Yeah, like
They're
I don't
listening
even
to
think they
songs like
appreciate.
1-800 whatever because they heard it on the radio. It's
I mean, that just
100.
jumped
I
up
don't
to, like,
think,
charts.
like-
That's why I'm listening to.
I don't know if middle schoolers can honestly appreciate like Bobby Tarantino style music though, because like we appreciate that because of the music that we listened to before. So we
also
appreciate
24,
that.
25. We're
Yeah,
getting
like,
up there
we
in
can
our age.
appreciate
maybe there's
that.
a certain cutoff date. Where
If
it
they're
comes
like,
to
if
age.
someone's like 15, 16 right now, like I really doubt they care about like how many bars he's spitting, like how good they are.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think they care.
Well, I mean, the value of bars is obviously diminished in general, right? Like, you don't really...
Yeah.
Like, even... I mean, it's even reflected in Logic's music. Like, his best bars on Bobby Tarantino would be, like, his 20th best bars on Young Sinatra. Like, that's just how it is. Because
Yeah, I
he,
mean-
he was trying harder to be a lyrical guy. Because right now, his fans aren't looking for him to be some sort of, like, spit it and just kill everybody with my bars. Like, they're trying to hear him turn it up, change
It
his
seems
flow
like in
a lot.
all of his older music, he was more genuine and likable. It sounded like he was giving a more authentic message. And now it seems like it's Rick and Morty and the Rubik's Cube, and he sounds like a substitute teacher trying to teach you about peace, love, positivity, and happiness. Like, is this just a marketing gimmick?
To be
is
fair,
this who he really is
those
now?
things I think is just who he is. Like, I think that
You
when
think he's
when
really
was,
geeky or something?
No, I do.
No, he is
Is he
like that.
personally just a really geeky person?
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Dude, this
He's
guy
super
doesn't do
nerdy.
anything. Like, he doesn't go, like,
He
I think
doesn't
just
fuck with nobody.
Just recently, I
But
feel
it
like that's
sounds like
changed
he's
now,
becoming
but,
a
like,
caricature of himself. Like, he's projecting this bigger than lifetime personality, but that's just not who he is. And it's losing that essence, that sort of connection that all his original listeners had with
The
him.
who he is very confusing right now because
It
I mean,
is.
talking about like a little bit of recent news, like I don't know if you heard about like the situation between him and his wife and all that whole
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know, like that just seemed very out of nowhere.
It does.
I
It
really
did.
didn't see that coming, and I'm not really sure if his whole little personality change that he's going through, that I don't know if that
it's
was
factoring into
I mean, it's
that.
been
yeah.
they've been together
it
for what,
seems
2
like
years.
He
It's
started
been 2 years
smoking
since they've
weed,
been
which he
together.
was so against like years
yeah,
ago.
like his I feel like he's really trying to flex a little too hard in my opinion now. He's really good, but
Well, when you look at it, like he was an XXL in 2013, right? So it's been 5
I
years
guess.
since he even got in the magazine, and when he was on the magazine, there was no hype for him as much as there is right now. Like he's
Yeah.
just getting hype because of the 1-800 song, because of dropping everybody, dropping Bobby Tarantino too. So people are now realizing, this guy was there. He disappeared for a little bit, but he's coming back, and people like us who were there from the beginning, we're appreciating it, but other people, they're just like, okay, he just has these couple of songs, but that's it.
yeah, I mean, so like for example, on Bobby Tarantino, so 44 More, right? Like,
Yeah.
that one really picked up a lot of traction. A lot of people liked it. But like if you listen to what he's saying on there, he's really trying to flex hard and say like, I can do whatever.
And you know what the
Yeah,
funniest
But
thing?
that's his response to people saying like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to you talk about like a positive message. As much as that's great, I want to hear you like rap." So that's him trying to like flex that, I can rap if I want to rap, but like I'm purposely trying not to.
But like, see, the
yeah.
thing is, he also and that's what's so frustrating about him. He goes in and goes in the same song. I don't flex to be acknowledged.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Like, get the hell.
It's super double
Why else
standard
do you flex,
on that.
you idiot? Like you flex because you want to get acknowledged. Like
Is he just a normal person anymore? I'm not trying to be snarky or anything. It seems like you can't really relate to him anymore.
I also think, and that's where I think the generational gap's starting to come in, where I think that there are a younger generation of fans who are really, because dude, his popularity has shot up. Like,
exactly.
He is huge right now.
Maybe we're just not connected to the mainstream. Maybe we have a different opinion.
But
of
he
who
just seems like
Logic
a
is
different
supposed to
person
be.
because like he's always been he's always projected a certain personality of himself. And now like if you look at any of his interviews, there was one recent where he's talking about like how he's like 30 million in the bank now and all this crap. And I'm just like, you used to never talk about this, but
Money, materialistic stuff.
you know what he's
especially.
doing? He's doing that little like humble brag thing now.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what
He's doing this humble
he's
brag
the king
thing.
of the humble brag now.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, we all know you're great. You don't have to talk that much about it. And so now I kind of hope that he sleeps on music for a little bit. I hope that he like
I
lets
doubt
it.
he will though. I have a feeling.
I
Like,
hope he doesn't
I
go
mean,
and try to
he's going
drop.
on tour soon, so he's gonna
Yeah, so I hope he like
give it a little
let something
break
brew
on
for a
dropping
while.
some new stuff out.
And like the other thing is like he always talks, because I watch his interviews too, and he talks about how much he idolizes J. Cole. And if you look at the way J. Cole moves, that dude doesn't flex at all. You don't hear it from him until literally the day he drops his album. Like,
We also haven't heard from J. Cole in like
He's a
3 years.
ghost
Doesn't
now,
J.
dude.
Cole also
Hey,
still
listen,
drive like a
he takes 2-year
1990s
breaks,
Camry
okay?
or something?
We haven't heard from him.
What was
2-year breaks. That's what he does.
Doesn't J. Cole like still drive some very modest car? He's a very
He-
modest
Dude,
person.
he
He
balls
drives
on
whatever
like
people-
public courts. He doesn't. He's a part of like the culture of like just regular people.
He's
He doesn't
humble. He's humble.
Put himself
but he's
apart
also
at
a
all.
$30 million man. Like that's like if you want to talk about being humble, then be humble.
But that's the
like
thing.
if
Is
you
that
don't
what
want
you
to, then
want?
don't.
Is that what you want in the personality, in that figure of a rapper? Like you got 50 Cent, you got the most thug person you could ever have dropping bars. Like it's not because his music was good. It's because he had that image. His image is what sold his music.
That's what's messing
But
up
there's a
Logic
difference
because he
there, yeah.
portrayed a different image than what he's doing now, and so that's why people are confused because he's trying to be all humble, but here he is like flexing about how he has 30 million in the bank. Like if you really wanted to be humble, don't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
You didn't need to say that,
I
and
also-
you don't need to go talking about how great your big ass house is now
Yeah.
or like how
The cars you buy.
Yeah, the cars like. He's doing that humble brag thing, and it's really pissing people
One of
off.
the things I've also noticed is like Logic has this weird thing where I don't know why he does this, but like he tailors himself to his fans' critiques. Like anytime his fans make
He
a
cares what
critique,
people think.
He cares, but like so much to the point
And
where
there was a
like
point
what
where
we
he
see
didn't
right now
care.
is a creation of his fans. Like his fans, because he's listening to the people who hate him, and he's listening to the people who love him, and he's listening to everything they're saying about him, and then he's changing it for his next project.
That's what I'm saying. Half of Bobby Tarantino was inspired by what everyone was
Whatever
saying
his
about
fans
him.
say, which
That's
is
so
which is
funny.
stupid because
That's-
because if you see Cole, like every single time he drops double platinum, no features, all that kind of great stuff, but he's never changing. Everybody said, "Oh, For Your Eyes Only was shit," but like that's fine if you don't like it, but it's still
His sound's
double
always the
platinum.
same, though.
Yeah, because he doesn't compromise. He doesn't listen to anybody. He just does what he wants. He goes into his hole and he creates beautiful music. Like that's what I want an artist to do. If that's what you're claiming, you know what I'm saying?
And the only reason we're talking about it is because Logic has the potential to do
He
that.
has so
He
much
does.
potential. So
Like,
much
Dude, there was a
potential.
time where he said that he doesn't like mess with anybody. He literally sits with his dog, his wife, and his couple of
And
friends,
that's
and
when
he
he made
does
the best
him.
music.
And he's like, only the people that are my true fans will know the shit I go through on a daily basis. But now it's like he's doing everything for everybody, and it's like no, like you're forcing some of it. You just want you to be you now.
I think it's because he got so big that he finally like he wasn't prepared to handle the fact that like he was gonna have so many people criticizing him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
sure
it's new to him. I get
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And so like now he's just trying to cope with fame and money and all those types of things and just. And I also think he needs to shut himself off. Like that's what really needs to happen.
Now he needs to wait. He needs
as,
to sit and
as
let
an
it brew
artist,
for a
he needs to
little
remove
while.
himself from the world. Like
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he'll do whatever he
I
wants.
hope he does
but-
great on tour, man. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see this tour. I think this tour would be.
Wait, when's
super
it starting?
fun.
Do you know when it's starting, or
don't know
just
when it's
soon?
starting.
Is
I don't
that
think-
all we know?
I mean, I just remember seeing that he was going on tour sometime this summer.
He's
but
got
I
some
don't
good
remember when.
people on that card too. I think. It's gonna
Yeah.
be-
He's going with I think I Spy Kyle or something like that. Whatever that guy's
Kyle,
name is.
Oh,
Isn't he
well,
playing at like
I
Governor's
don't
Ball
follow
or
up with
something?
Kyle, I'll be honest with you.
Or
But
Is he?
Coachella. I remember seeing one of the headlines. Logic's on one of them. I don't
Okay.
remember which one.
I mean, see, that's good though. That's the kind of stuff he should be at. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's
for his talent level.
that's the
I
stage
just-
he belongs on now.
Yeah.
I just think his music would blend in better into a festival type of scene.
Well, he better not go
Just
to.
because
He
you
better
can-
not go to those festivals and sing like stuff off everybody
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like you see, that's the thing because that's one of his newest albums, and he can't sing. Like he can, but it's like nobody's gonna be down for
No,
that.
you need Mixtape Logic to perform.
Suicide song, please.
Yeah, like no one's
Take
gonna.
a shot.
You know, it's really funny you brought up that thing about the little critiques because he talks so much about Rick and Morty. He has that little skit with Rick and Morty in the beginning. It's so funny watching that show transform because they have such a vocal fan base that everyone makes so many critiques that you can see those critiques slowly come into the show. And then because of that, people are just getting annoyed because, you know, everyone's been talking about that. We expected that. Show us something new. Like when
Yeah.
you start becoming your critiques, you kind of like
You're not original.
You're deteriorating your product at the expense of a vocal minority.
'Cause you're not supposed to be a product of your fans. Like that's not
Absolutely
No,
not.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially as somebody who's like, because there's a difference in my opinion between the artist that Logic is trying to be and the artist that he currently is, and I think that like, for example, Drake, like he can listen to all of his fans. He can listen to every single critique. He can drop a 30-song album and and it'll be a little bit something for everyone, which is fine. But that is not what Logic's trying to do.
I don't know what Drake's been doing, but he has this way of not listening to what people want, but somehow still making like.
Dude, Drake
No,
Drake
has
got over
swag,
that.
Here's the
man.
thing, though.
He
Drake
got over it.
No. Drake pays attention to
Everything.
the trends.
Yeah,
Like, he doesn't
everything
pay
work-
attention
like,
to people, but
he makes it work. Like
he takes
doesn't.
like, for example, God's Plan. He had the Cardi flow. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. He had that
Yeah,
little.
like all those types of things. Like Drake takes influence from like the contemporaries and people around him, younger.
And he puts
people.
his own take on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Look
people
Alive
wanna-
does not sound contemporary. That sounds
Okay,
like
okay.
a
People wanna
heavy
work with
hitting
Drake, too,
early
that's the thing.
2000s rap song.
That flow, yeah, I
that
dare you
beat
to
is
find
so
find
simple
me
and
that
it's
flow in
so
the early
great.
2000s.
I mean,
The beat itself is very, very rudimentary. It's not something you hear in pop. It's not something you hear today.
I think the way things are trending, that beat makes sense right now. I honestly, I didn't see Look Alive. I saw Look Alive as a great song, but I didn't think it was like different from what was happening in the culture.
Drake has good people he
Trend-wise.
works with too. I mean, his producer is awesome.
Oh yeah, 40 is fantastic. Yeah.
one
You
of
know
the
who was a
greatest.
great producer but makes no sense? 6ix9ine.
I don't
Oh,
like that
yeah,
guy. man.
yeah.
No, but
Don't even get me started. about
Logic's
that guy.
producer,
Quentin.
super talented.
And
Six
Six,
and
is
Six.
amazing,
Yeah.
man. Six is really good. Like,
So I don't know if you guys knew this. Quick fact though, Bobby Tarantino. Do you know why it's called Bobby Tarantino?
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
like
he talks about
his,
it, but
his real name is Sir Robert Bryson.
Yeah, I know
So
that.
Bobby, and then one of his good friends is Quentin Tarantino. So who helps him with those two albums?
Oh
two
no!
mixtapes.
Actually, the reason so the Tarantino thing came from I saw an interview on this too. Logic thinks that the way that he crafts his albums is similar to the way that Quentin Tarantino shoots
His movies?
Yeah.
That's what he says. At
the
least.
director too.
yeah.
That's what he claims.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd I don't know if I'd say something like that, but
I also
I see where he's
It's a
going.
lot though.
I don't know what the.
I mean, Tarantino films are very polarizing. I guess you can make a comparison that Logic's music is also very polarizing now.
Like that's one way to put it.
honestly, I think Logic's just a Tarantino fan, and he likes to say
Yeah.
he likes to say that his people who he's a fan of are his influence. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
regardless of whether there's a real connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we've pretty much established what we think about this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like end of the day, like, art, you know,
You can
Logic-
do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Artists
you can
are
do whatever you
artists,
want.
yeah.
Logic's still awesome.
And the crazy thing is, despite all of my critiques, I'm gonna tune into basically everything he
Yeah,
drops.
regardless
So,
of
for
what
sure.
we
Yeah,
say
no matter
here,
what, I'm
always
still gonna
follow
listen to
him.
him.
Yeah. So like Logic, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just hope whatever he's coming out with next, if he's coming out with anything anytime soon, he thinks it through a little bit.
I actually heard he's thinking that him and Joey Badass have like a
That would be
joint
awesome.
album.
That would
That
be
would be
dope.
awesome. I am.
Please.
Because
I'm
Joey
down
Badass
for
has been
that.
slept on too, man.
Oh,
Like
Badass
he
is
is
great.
slept on.
Badass is great.
Exactly.
He's had like these ups and downs where he's like recognized but just not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like
Also, you have to. His style doesn't lend itself super well to mainstream music. Like, you need to be a fan of hip hop to really.
and he
Joey
he
Badass.
really likes to be aggressive with the way he talks and raps. Like
keep
things
that
he
grip
talks about,
tight
too.
like my Smith and Wesson.
he talks like very aggressive too. So a lot of people wouldn't want to listen to that on the radio or even like I don't know, if I'm sitting on the bus or something, I don't want to hear that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
6 a.m, you're trying to take a nap, and that's all you hear.
Yeah, like I'm not sure about all that.
No, I prefer 6ix9ine in the morning.
Oh god.
Oh,
Pull up
God.
with that ticky up.
Yeah, I
Got
can't.
the stiffy.
I can't.
Honestly, that music is great just to like get pumped up, man.
It's
That's
trash
it.
though.
Man,
Like, if you're about to get fucked up this
It's
weekend,
hot
that's
trash,
what you listen
though. That's
to.
why you like it.
Yeah,
I can't listen to
yeah.
that.
It's so
kind
bad,
of
it's
stuff.
good.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, how do you guys feel about him though? I mean, I was telling you guys the other day, I like the beats that he has. His
Dude,
producer,
his producer
is great.
is crazy, man. Those beats are sick.
I can't.
But
Like,
he has the same flow every time. You realize that? Like most of the songs he makes, they sound similar because he just
They
has
do.
like
Even
that.
the beats sound
It's like
somewhat
it's like the
similar,
same
yeah.
thing. Like it's the same architecture of it.
no, it's too much for me. I really can't stand the way he talks.
Yeah, because he's screaming in your ear. That's essentially what it is.
yeah.
Have you guys seen his like hair, man? Like his appearance?
No,
Dude,
like,
but
how
like
the
he's
hell
trying to
are
make
you
a
okay with
statement.
that,
If you
man?
listen to his interviews, he's not as dumb as you think he is. He's still
Oh, he's not.
He's still kind of annoying, but he's
He
not
was
as
out
dumb
in
as you
like
think.
DR or
Dude.
something like that, giving out money to people and.
You know, he went
Yeah.
to
Some other
he went to the Breakfast Club and he had this like big interview that was
I listened
really
to like the
controversial.
hour-long
Yeah.
interview. Yeah.
But after, so like, you know how they were talking about how like he was going at Charlamagne and like he was
Yeah,
being
yeah.
really aggressive.
after the interview was over, he goes, and Charlemagne said this on his podcast, like the next day when he released it. He was like, yeah, after the interview was over, he was like, yo, I was just doing all that for ratings. Like, my bad, guys. Like, we're cool. Like, he's completely cognizant of what he's doing. He's just trying to make sure that the ratings
Because
get
their
high.
whole thing was like, yo, why are you going around like trying to stir trouble? Like, 'cause he's going out there flexing hard as hell, like saying, I'm the shit, I'm the king of New York. Like, don't. And Charlemagne's like, don't say stuff like that, because you're literally gonna get shocked. He's going around like, oh, I'm blood. Like, he needs to stop saying that.
Especially because
he's involved. Apparently, he says he's involved with Bloods and Crips. I don't know how.
I don't know. I don't care about all that.
how
Like,
that's-
I don't care
that's
about
flowing, but-
all those politics. But like, he needs to stop like doing. But that's the image he's trying to do. He's trying to be like, oh, I'm the boss. Like, that's what he's trying to portray in his music and everything.
And honestly,
You're
like,
talking about it, right? It looks like his advertising did its job.
Yeah, but like, I wish
Everyone's
if he has
talking
all this
about
like
it.
built up aggression or something, I just wish he didn't use that to just scream on his music though. Like, he could the things he talks about in his interview, like if he could convert that to music, I would listen to it. But he's just saying like dumb stuff on his music.
the
which
problem
I'm
is though,
not a
he's just
fan of.
built a brand for himself now, right? Like, he's built a brand around being extremely aggressive.
Around like
saying,
6
"Fuck
songs
you to
though.
everyone."
Like, who cares?
No, but like, that's the thing though. He's built a huge following at this point. He has like that Breakfast Club interview was like 6 million views. Like, that's like their second high. And
It's all these new guys. I mean,
He was on
younger
that interview like,
generation.
oh, this is gonna be your most watched
he
interview.
said
This
it
is gonna
too,
be your
like,
most
what a
watched
savage,
interview.
right? Like, but no, I was on Facebook. I follow a couple of people, like just friends from high school, not friends from high school, kids I know from high school who are huge 6ix9ine fans, like enormous 6ix9ine fans.
Dude, a lot of people like it.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying though. Like, if you've built such a huge fan base on that brand, like a huge drastic change might not be ideal, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but if he could come out with like, if he could find a way to really say something on like the kind of music that his producer's making, like he could really get some.
honestly, he could also like release a project where he still does what he did on this last one, but then offer something for people like us, and then create an even larger fan base.
I mean,
right?
no one's telling him to go all Tupac and make some crazy like.
Oh no,
Make
but
some crazy discography.
something more
and, like,
palatable would be nice.
yeah, it's a little too much for me.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
or maybe we're just pussies.
Yep, there
We're
it
just
is.
4 pussies on the
Okay.
mic.
All right. I guess with that being said, we'd like to thank all of you for listening with Sundays with Allure. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Be sure to check in next Sunday for our next podcast. Thank you again. And this is Hait, Rishi, Shailen, and Sahil signing off.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out.